All right, we're back here for our second feature match in week 5 of Tarkir Dragonstorm. We got a couple heavy hitters here, two, two-time league winners. So players with a lot of success in the league, and both of them are doing pretty well this time around. We got Rafael F here, repping the Abzan against Adam S, who's repping the Sultai with an 18-5 record thus far. So what's going on in his hand?
So his hand right now is a lot of lands, a Pilgrim's Eye, and two blue cards. He notably does not have an island yet, but there's a sinister Sabotage and a Treasure Cruise.
Okay,
Uh,
sounds like cards I enjoy, at the very least. Yeah, so Raphael's at least playing a Sultai deck here. I guess we'll see if there's more colors as we go on. He has a number of spells here. So he's got a Confounding Riddle. He's got quite a few cards from our from the Tarkir Reforged here. He's got Confounding Riddle, Corpses of the Lost, Pilgrim's Eye, Sinister Sabotage, Dead Drop. He's got an Undergrowth Leopard, and he's got a Death Begets Life, but he doesn't have any other lands. So he definitely needs a land here to get the Pilgrim's Eye so he can cast all of his other stuff.
did he just miss a land drop, or did Adam go first?
He did not miss a land yet, but he's
Okay.
on the verge of doing so. He has now missed his land. Yeah, he didn't even crack his landscape just because he just wanted a land that bad.
Well,
So,
Adam's going to find it hard to really punish this. Other than the Pilgrim's Eye and what he just drew, which was Ureni, there are no creatures.
okay, well,
But
we might be in for a bit of a slow one here if Adam keeps drawing lands and Raph keeps drawing spells.
this aggressive negotiations is going to come down.
I
Maybe not
mean,
as effective when the
pretty
opponent has
effective
to
here to take
take
the
the field.
Pilgrim's Eye, I would say.
Oh, that's true.
Just
Yeah.
leaves Raph with so many fewer options. So Corpses of the Lost, if I remember, makes a 3/2 token, and then if you descended, you could bring it back to your hand at the end of turn. I think if you had a permanent enter the graveyard
Yes.
that turn.
So it makes it 2/2, but it gives a global +1/+0.
To
Um,
skeletons, right?
Skeletons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. It's a bit of a slow card, but can be an engine in the right situation. And as suspected, he said, "I'm the only one who gets this Pilgrim's Eye. You're gonna have to get your land some other way." And Raphael's probably gonna go get a mountain here, so he can at least Molten Exhale. Right? He's drawn a Durgar Island Dragon. I'm surprised he didn't just play it on his turn to try and draw a land.
Yeah. Um,
Like saving 2 damage isn't going to do that much here in this spot. Yeah, interesting he did it now rather than try and draw land on his turn, make his land drop, and then maybe get a fourth one next turn if he's things work out. Yeah, and he drew a tap land, which is like even more of a reason
that's extra
to do it
punish.
on your turn. Yeah.
Yeah. Adam drew a great one, or a really good one, just to continue adding pressure.
Yep. Team Rotani back looks good. Gets rid of one of those excess lands, perhaps.
It was kind of interesting choice whether he wants to try to build up to Ureni, or if he
Mm-hmm.
just says I don't need it because he just drew the Teamer Saga, which is very capable of ending this game by itself.
This not playing the tapping dragon on his turn went all kinds of wrong because he drew the Sagu Wildling, which he then would have been able to play and Molten Exile this turn to hit his next land drop for next turn. He would have been able to cast the Sagu Wildling sorcery. Yeah, so
Yeah.
this game is on the verge of getting very out of control here. He doesn't really have anything to stop any of this. I don't know. I mean, he has Dead Drop in his hand, but he doesn't have that many cards in his graveyard to do that.
Pretty far away.
Yeah, looking through his deck, he's mousing over the Crux of Fate buried in his deck somewhere. That
It's an
that
out. I think
Yeah,
unfortunately for Raph, as soon as Adam untaps, he is never gonna tap out because of this sinister sabotage.
yeah, that makes
Um,
sense. He has basically the win on board here.
yeah,
Yeah, so he's focusing the mind here. He's found a number of other things he could do, none of which are going to be extraordinarily helpful. Yeah, just the stumbling on mana, and then just that unfortunate timing of using the draw card on opponent's turn and drawing a tap land that he could have played and had one extra mana by now. Not that that would have got him out of this mess, but he would have been in maybe a slightly better shape.
I think it would have been an interesting game with counter spells on both sides, and then this death begets
Yeah,
life sweeper.
yeah.
But
I mean, he had two
uh,
counter spells in his hand. Rafael. He was just never in a position to cast them. I mean, he still can't cast one of them, so looks like he's going to unfortunately pack this one in. So looking at his deck, it looks to be four color. Yeah, he's not giving us a good look at his deck because he clicked submit or done.
just right back into it.
Yeah, it looked like four colors. I guess his deck is sort of tuned for this type of matchup already. So you know, I think at this point in the league, most people should be building their deck expecting to play against these type of decks the majority of the time. Probably would have heavier sideboarding against aggro decks, or at least that's what I've seen. So
Adam's deck is of the full five colors.
okay,
I would say a lot of the power is Teamer, and there's a lot of power. You got Saga and Ureni that we saw, but there's also Sarkin, Ring River Regent. Uh, yeah, definitely a perfect set of cards to have for this
yeah, well
format.
that helps explain the 18-5 record at the very least. I mean, he's obviously an excellent player, but always helps when your pool is full of cards that take over games. Rafael not doing too bad himself, 14-8, so he'll need to put together a couple more wins this week to stay in contention. Looks like this is going to be the most difficult league to top eight ever by miles.
Yeah, it's going to be a tense week 6. I will say that Adam's deck has a lot of so there's Teamer at the top end, and then white and black cards kind of lower in the curve. So some Stormplane Detainments, and then 3 aggressive negotiations,
Okay.
sort of uh, smooth the path for his hitters.
Yeah, I think this is one of the best sealed formats to have that effect, just because the cards are so swingy and strong, and everybody's playing like all their best cards for the most part. So
Yeah,
having that
definitely.
effect, I mean, 3 mana is a lot, but I mean, if it takes something that you can't beat out of the opponent's hand, then yeah, it's a small price to pay.
A lot of these powerful 5-colored decks are, they're playing like a Dragonstorm Globe on 3. They're not affecting the board, so you can also take that turn, quote unquote, off to deal with their hands.
Yeah, like I've been even running since I got it a Rakshasa Secret, which is like the Mind Rot variant. So anything to attack the hand, since a lot of the cards, once people cast them, it's often going to be too late a lot of the time.
So speaking of aggressive negotiations, that's really the only non mana source that
Okay.
Adam has.
Oh, it's just
He's got
lands and other.
lands and a Jeskai monument.
Okay, so we got a nice little hand here for Raf. Unfortunately, the aggressive negotiations is going to time uh, it's going to time up to take away the Fangkeeper's Familiar that Raphael's got,
Oh,
because he's got a Sibsig Appraiser for turn 3, and he's got a Fangkeeper's Familiar and a Sarkhan's Resolve, and the rest are lands. He does have red and black mana in his hand, so he'll be able to cast all of his spells, but unfortunately, he's going to lose his impactful rare here. He's going to grab a Riverwalk Technique. So he does have a bunch of interaction now. He drew a Molten Exile for turn, and he has a Riverwalk Technique as well. I mean, I imagine we're about to see, or Adam's about to see his hand.
yeah, and Adam drew another aggressive negotiations. So kind of how Adam drew it up. spend the early turns getting the mana all set, and then take away uh, whatever your opponent's doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the card has sort of grown in appreciation as the sets played out. People realize like it's actually kind of needed a lot of the time. Like usually we're okay paying 2 mana for this, but 3 is where it gets to like not be that worth it unless it makes a body, which like a couple cards we've seen in the past. But the cards are just so good in this set that uh, this type of effect is quite warranted. Yeah, took away the Fankeeper's Familiar. Raph has drawn his Crux of Fate, so if this game does become a drawn-out affair, he will have, uh, a difference maker here. Does Adam have anything to
We'll
do
have
here aside from making birds?
still just the negotiations and drew a dragon sniper, which not not too relevant.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Um,
he actually can't cast both of those because his green and black mana, I believe, are tied up in the same land over there. But he can
I think
pretty
this is actually a
safely.
good play by Adam
Okay,
to
on the bird.
just make the birds. He knows there's the negate with the Riverwalk technique, so
Yeah, the one
sort
card
of
he does not know
waste.
about, well, aside from an island, is the Crux of Fate. So that one is a piece of information that's hidden for now. Of note, cannot be cast at this current time. So Ref would need an extra swamp in order to get that done. Yeah, so Adam's gonna
So
eventually have to feed something to this Riverwalk technique, but he can maybe be selective about what he does get countered.
just thinking about cycling one of the MH3 lands.
Okay.
He also has he drew a Meringue River Regent, which
Ooh.
so he could sort of wait to see if Raff taps out, or wait to you know cast it as
All
a
right. This
big
opulent
flyer.
talent does mean Crux of Fate is live here. I imagine he's gonna cycle here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying a couple weeks ago in MH3, I just like almost forgot they had cycling because I just needed them. You needed them for the colorless mana or for the fetch land effect, and you almost never cycled them. And in this set, like I've seen a lot cycled. I've cycled a lot myself. I'm like, oh, these lands are so much better. Because yeah, I was using them mostly for colorless mana, honestly. But in this set, we don't need colorless mana. We just want to fix our cycle.
So the hits keep coming on
Okay.
Adam's side. Drew a Ureni.
Ooh.
Um,
Yeah. So despite having protection from black, Crux of Fate will hit a Ureni if that comes up. If he
also, the
chooses
Resolve is
dragons.
a great answer.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Resolve as well.
yeah.
Yeah. Adam probably doesn't want to play it into that resolve. He'll probably need to try and lure it out of Raph's hand before he deploys a Ureni at some point. Yeah, so we're seeing what powerful decks look like here in the late stages of the league, and Adam has gone definitely for at least for the this hand attack strategy. Obviously, has been paying off quite well for him.
Yeah, we'll see if the longer game kind of rewards that, or if Raph will eventually just sort of draw more answers.
I imagine it's
It's,
going to depend on
you
who
know,
finds card draw, right? That's going to be who's going to find their card draw
yeah.
and start digging towards the cards that are
Or
really going to make a difference.
can I interest you in the third? We're coming back to the negotiating table.
Oh boy,
Um,
yeah, this is going to be a heartbreaker here for Raph. He's just getting his hand torn apart here. I mean, yeah, just taking Crux of Fate feels pretty right here. I mean, he does know about this Arcan's Resolve, his Ureni. If that gets resolved, he'll want that out of hand. But see if Raphael is tempted to destroy this bird now that it's a 2-2 at some point. All right, he's got Corpses of the Lost here, which is not a 0.
Yeah, that's good. I think
Yeah, so make a
and
2-2.
sort of makes the block on the appraiser really quite poor.
Yes, this is a
Um,
2-2 Black Skeleton Pirate. In case that matters. Yeah, so as we mentioned before, oh, it has haste too. Oh, I forgot about that. I mean, I don't think I played that card very much, if at all. But having haste is pretty nice. But I believe tokens do not count towards descend, if I remember correctly.
I don't know the rules well enough. I feel like tokens do go to the graveyard, but the
Yeah, I did like a judge call at the pre-release, and well, they weren't really a judge, but they looked it up, and it doesn't actually trigger descend because descend says if a card was put into your graveyard, a permanent card, and a
okay,
token's not a card. If it just says if a permanent was put into your graveyard, I think it would count, but a token's not technically a card.
yeah,
So word games win the day over there.
it would be a little too good with treasures and stuff like that
Yeah,
triggering.
I mean that's
But
exactly what somebody was trying to do, I believe. But I think like if people are just casually playing at a pre-release, most of the time neither player is gonna register that it doesn't work like that. But
yeah,
I just wanted to make sure because of the very specific wording. But he does get his
if
corpses of the lost back anyway. So
if Raph was playing this game in paper, that might have occurred. But we've got the arena rules system helping us out.
all right, he's just gonna cast the. Oh, he can't cast the dragon. I was like, why isn't he casting the dragon? But he can't
Yeah,
cast
no
the
second
dragon.
blue.
I mean, it would have just got
So
fed
I
to the
would.
Sarkhan's Resolve anyway. But
Yeah, I think this. You were talking about first person to find card draw, and
yep, and
this
he found it.
counts. So
That's absolutely
um,
counts. He gets to look at 3 new cards and potentially keep all 3 of them. And here's a devotee. All right, so okay, Glacial Dragon Hunt, not the best find here. I guess it works with the Corpses of the Lost because you can discard his island, so that does something. Okay, well
what was the card drawn by?
we found a
Oh,
way to
this one.
descend
Okay.
here. If he discards the island, he gets to descend, right? Yeah,
Yeah. Cool interaction there.
yeah, neat.
Adam picked up a Stormplane Detainment and an Encroaching Dragonstorm. So we are uh, 2 turns away, probably, from this Urani coming down.
Yeah, and Raph's still sitting there with that Sarkhan's Resolve. I know Raph does tend to pull up the opponent's pool. He maybe saw you ready and said, I have limited answers to that. So, this Sarkhan's Resolve is going to be only used in extreme cases. Yeah, so the unknown card in Raph's hand is a dead drop, which might also be pretty relevant here, considering the board's been kept pretty clean throughout this game.
Another answer to Urani.
He's full of answers. Yeah, I remember one of our teamer players played Ureni in the Brawl tournament, and when they would stream their games, like every time they resolve Ureni, it would just immediately get removed by something, strategic betrayal or Sarkhan's Resolve, or it's just like so heartbreaking. It's just like his whole deck is built to get that onto the battlefield. He did it. He killed some stuff, and then opponent just 2 mana go away.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. an 8 mana
Also
commander
very
is a hard
expensive
ask. Yeah.
overall.
All right, so he's got a monument here, and activating the monument will
Another way to
also
trigger
trigger the
descent.
corpses. So it's like he's making the most of this card.
Okay, this is exactly what I was hoping for when I put in there in the set. It's
Yeah,
I think a nice power level for a rare where you have to put a little work in.
yeah.
That can be quite good.
Has there been any other cards you've seen in action that you were like happy to see it doing its thing from the Tarkir Reforged? Any other instances you could think of being like super happy to see a card go off?
Let's see. I mean, a lot of the delve stuff has felt just like very fantastic, but that was stuff we kind of knew going in, right?
Yeah,
That Treasure Cruise is going to be very powerful, but I think I got some comments that um, the pump spell, the +6/+6,
yep.
has also ended some games suddenly.
Yeah, I've had a couple
But
good experiences with that one. I mean, I know it's not a synergy card you go off with, but every time I've cast Doom Blast, I've been pretty satisfied. But that's a different story.
look, sometimes you just got to put the iconic cards from a set in, even if they're maybe not fantastic for limited. And Doom Blast
Yeah,
is probably one of those.
I mean, 7 mana, 3 color sorcery. I think it's like kind of fine for what it asks you to do. But yeah, when when you get it played against you, it doesn't feel that way necessarily. All right, so we're gonna dead drop here. I mean, gets to pay what 6 mana for this. I think he's gonna leave his Dragon Hunt in the graveyard and exile the other 6. This is not your amazing use of a dead drop, but he's at 8 life. He needs to keep the board as clean as he can.
So it's a Sargon's Resolve, Dead Drop. What's the third card?
It's just a land. He drew a tap land. All right, so he's gonna make some zombies here, and now he's going to. Okay, yeah. So he found the line that the Salte Monument give him an extra card, so he can do both here. So exile 7, pay 3, and leave his Dragon Hunt. Unfortunately, his Corpses of the Lost is not going to trigger because it's trapped under the enchantment over there.
We see another of the Delve cards coming in clutch.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen basically every Delve card that's in there. I've seen cast like Treasure Cruise, Gurmag Angler, Set Adrift, Become Immense. Like I've basically seen. I haven't seen anybody cast a Hooting Mandrills yet, but I'm sure people are running it.
I just hope people have drawn a card off, like Kishla Skimmer while casting a Delve card. You know,
I mean, that's the dream right there.
felt, felt joy.
That's certainly a dream to aspire to. I know I haven't, but I
So
mean, does
Adam
he has me
is
already? But
he's. It seems like he's choosing not to. Uh, it's kind of an interesting option because killing 3 creatures is not nothing.
yeah. So who's the mystery
Um,
man here?
this is a nervous gardener that
Okay,
you'll
yeah,
see momentarily,
solid.
but he can bring back the devotee. Uh, I guess just block a lot of these creatures.
Yeah, I mean, he's not in super danger here. Just having a bunch of tutus that trade. The real danger, at least that Raf had going, was that enchantment, and that's gone right now.
Yeah. Adam does have another Mage 3 cycler, the Jeskai one.
That works too.
Um,
Yeah, so you can do that cycle, see what he draws, because it's still better to just play your creature and cycle next turn. All right, Sipsic Appraiser here means we get to dig a couple more cards deep.
great. Yeah, great draw.
So he sees
Feels like
Roiling Dragonstorm, so gets to dig even more. Dig away. All right. Okay. We got a Dragon's Prey and a Focus the Mind here. So and he can now focus the land.
We're,
So
we're churning.
yeah, now he's gotten to the land section here as well as a Pilgrim's Eye. But the land that he does have, you'll see, is this monastery. So if the game slows down a bit, which looks like it's possibly doing, that monastery may come into play, but it is very expensive.
Okay, so Adam is gonna pull the trigger. He actually had an interesting decision. Really, he drew Taval, which is the Sultai mythic.
Okay.
In case he thought he didn't have enough mythic dragons,
So he
but I
says,
think
yeah. So he's saying, I'll blow up the board. I'll take a hit for getting my Ureni taken, but I also get to put my opponent to 4 here, which is pretty good.
right.
He does have Giraffe does have a dragon spray for that other dragon, but just going down to 4 here is looking pretty good for Adam. So he gets to split up, I think, 10 damage, which is more than enough to get rid of all of these. Yeah, so Adam's doing this. So Raph has to think, okay, he has another dragon. He has another big flyer in hand.
Really? How bad?
Curtis, you're unmuted.
You wash your hands?
Yeah, can we get some meat there?
What did we eat?
I'll,
Oh, I'm sorry.
We both mute him. Should be fine.
yeah, I have
Yeah.
to go back into Discord to do that. Which, oh, it's muted now, I think. Okay. Looks like it's fixed. Okay. Sorry about
So
that.
do you remember all the way back at the beginning with all the aggressive negotiations? Did
Yep.
one of those take the death begets life, or is that still a draw for
No,
Raph?
he didn't. No, he took the Crux of Fate.
Correct as fate. Okay.
Yeah, he took. I don't remember what he took the first time. I know the second time it got countered by the Riverwalk technique. But I believe that's still a draw here. But pretty nice card drawn for Raf here. Another card from Tarkir Reforged, the Dread Linorm.
Damn, I'm sorry.
Oh yes, yeah. This was definitely a powerful include. Which,
Damn.
so there was a card in Khans of Tarkir that was 4 mana, put 2+1/+1 counters on a creature and untap it. It's like Dragon Scale Boon.
Dragon Scale Boon.
And
it got a bit
that
of
card is not playable.
Got a bit of a glow up, I think.
Yeah, so it got very much a glow up, but it was nice to have a. Yeah, made sure to add a couple dragons into the Tarkir Reforged set to help out.
Yeah, I believe it's a snake dragon even. Imagine he's gonna let's see if he's gonna try and do the Lenorm thing here. Oh, he's gonna try and dragon spray the gardener. Interesting. That now leaves him vulnerable to the a big dragon coming down. Huh. I guess he didn't want to play his Lenorm into a removal. Yeah, going to 2 is also a dangerous situation.
Yeah, this Deval, I don't think Raph has an answer to just yet.
No, he just has this Lenorm, which I don't believe has reach or flying. Yeah, Baldur's Gate set just put a bunch of dragons into the game that didn't have flying. Very off-putting for the usual expectations. Like there's 2-drop dragons. There's dragons that don't fly anymore. But yeah, it's a good card, but it won't be good enough here. I'm trying to figure out if you should
thinking
play
about this
counter.
decision. Interested if he doesn't cast it to all, because there is that 3 damage removal spell in the graveyard.
Yeah, that's not quite enough though. Okay, looks like he's going to play it safe here. Leave nothing to chance. Okay, play a Tawny back. That's a lethal threat, so that must be answered.
And discard the devotee for some value, but he drew just another land.
Yeah, better to just dump a land here when he's got 12 of them in play.
Yeah.
Okay. So Raf's on a Temur Monument here, which I think is probably worse than just playing a 7/6. Does Adam just have like a removal in hand?
No removal, but
Okay.
I would imagine Raph is probably scared of removal,
Yeah, I
given
mean
that
he
he
can
hasn't
only
had a
put
lot
one
of
body into play anyway.
yeah.
So he can decide: do I want a 5/5 or do I want a 7/6? And he does not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, he doesn't have enough mana to. I think he's off by 1 mana to be able to hold up the Lenorm sorcery here, or the instant.
So he could cast the
I think that's what he's
deal
doing.
3 from the graveyard
Oh, oh, I think he's casting the. I guess we'll
after
see.
making a F5, but
I think he's casting the Lenorm and then he's going to do it. Oh no, but he can't do it quite like that. Yeah, he's realizing I can't cast Lenorm and Dragon Hunt, but I think he can make an elephant. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's gonna have to be very careful of tapping here because it's going to try and
yes.
leave his 2 tri-lands untapped. If left to its own devices, the auto tapper will tap him out of red here. I think he's piecing that together here.
This is also the moment in the game where you are desperately hoping to draw an irrelevant non-land, so you don't have to discard this huge dragon you've got.
Yeah, I mean he will if he has to, but okay, I think he's found the formula he was looking for here. All right. Oh, he. Okay, there you go. All right. Make a 5/5. All right, we figured it out. All right. Oh, he's trying to death begets life now.
Wow, that is the best draw in this deck. I'm very confident that.
I mean, if Adam does just play his big dragon here and something else, he'll get to just play the death begets life and draw 3, which is pretty nice.
There's in the Stormbrood.
Okay, get some value here.
Which, funnily enough, will take off 2 permanents from the board, potentially.
Oh, yeah. Oh, death begets life hits enchantments too, yes. Was it artifacts, enchantments, and creatures?
I was working under the assumption it hit everything, but
Oh, I think somebody had mentioned it actually
just
doesn't hit planeswalkers. Like that came up at some point in the game.
yeah. Enchantments is the relevant one here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because he'll get his permanent back. Yeah, so Adam might be just playing as if he's going to run into a death begets life. He's saying, I think I can win this game without casting my big old dragon. I just have to make sure my opponent doesn't have the death begets life. Oh, well, it's time for the dragon, and come what may, this is going to work out very nicely for Raph, as he's feigning anger here before the before the news hits.
Yeah. Boom.
All right.
Get a 3/2 haste
what
on top.
What an absolute beating. Unfortunately, his mana has tapped him out of the sinister sabotage that he drew, but such is Arena.
Yeah, so right now it's just the Dragonstorm and the Cycling Land.
Yeah, we
And
got
then, of
a
course, the devotee.
yeah, we got a couple things that can speed up the game here. He's got a swift warkite in hand, which is that dragon that can reanimate something or drop something from your
Oh,
hand,
yeah.
and it goes back into your hand after. So he can actually trigger his corpses here with the Shattered Landscape. I mean, he also has an Enoch Wayfarer, which could have done it as well. But he could.
I don't remember seeing any direct damage from Adam's deck. Um, I don't. I don't think there are any haste creatures.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's something, but I mean, Raph actually he has a Molten Exile too and a dragon, so if there's something threatening of 4 toughness, he even has an instant speed answer to that. So yeah, Death Begets Life will absolutely turn a game on its head completely.
I think Adam was a little punished there for waiting on the Taval, but it's against a deck that seems to have a ton of answers.
All right,
It's not
well,
unreasonable to try
we're
to
we're not here to
wait it
support
out.
somebody encouraging their opponent to concede, but it's Raph, so it's Raph being Raph.
These two know each other well, so.
Well enough, yeah. All right, so here comes a Cruel Truths card that you were saying earlier you haven't seen cast very much, but have now
I
seen
really
cast
haven't seen
several
it cast
times
that
this
much.
evening between this game and
It's looking
the draft that was being streamed in between.
it's looking great here too because he's got a mammoth bellow that he could put into the graveyard for value, and then a roar of endless song, which
Like there's
that
about
card
like
speaks for
five draw
itself.
spells in our format, like between the Dragonstorm and Tarkir Reforged. There's probably 5 or 6 draw spells that I put in my deck before this, but if I don't have those, this still kind of does the job.
Yeah, and we maybe
Okay.
shouldn't have counted Adam out just yet because he's cast this roar of endless song, and then has a Meringue River Regent in hand.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't count him out. I'm just Death Begets Life is, it's difficult to come back from, is what we'll say,
Yes.
but not impossible whatsoever. He's looking at his graveyard, what he can do with the Swift Warkite, and probably the best thing to do is the Sibsig Appraiser. So this is kind of cute because he has a Molten Exhale, so he could put his Sibsig Appraiser into play, attack with it, and Adam could just see it as like, oh well, you got the value anyway. And he's got a Whale of War now that he's looking at here to get back 2 creatures. So the card selection and card draw continues here on both ends. But
So
Adam
this
with
is another interaction that, having seen it, felt very strong between Tarkir Reforged and Dragonstorm. The get back Sibsig, draw a card, return it to your hand, get to cast again, draw another card.
yeah,
That
sure. Right, so he's got Corpse of the
it's,
Lost here. I mean, this no, it's not. No, the dragon itself doesn't have haste, so he does not have a potential lethal here. Yeah,
is
so
it just the Molten Exhale?
he's got Molten Exhale. He's got 2 counter spells here, and he's one of them being
Oh,
Confounding Riddle. He's got Whale of War also. So let's see if he tries to push any damage here. He will have to give up a skeleton.
the Exhale will tap him out of the counterspell as well.
Yeah.
So
So he can only do of all the things in his hand, he can only do one of those things, and it's gonna have to think pretty carefully to figure out which one. Well, he can also play Enoch Wayfarer and hold up the Molten Exile. Enoch Wayfarer could just be a blocker, but there seem to be quite a few elephants on their way here. As he decides not to attack, he's going down to 2 here.
he is returning it. I was kind of wondering whether he would.
Yeah, interesting. He didn't just try and go for like a cheeky attack with Sibsig and then Molten Exile, but I guess Adam could have seen through that problem, possibly, just taking the two. But it's not that much disadvantage to just attacking with the Sibsig there. So what's the unknown card here?
So it's Moraine River Regent,
Oh,
which will
okay.
reward holding on to the counter spell.
Yeah, well, two counter spells here. So I believe the
Yeah.
confounding riddle is gonna not be too relevant at this point in the game. I believe it's counter unless they pay 4. So
Yes.
Adam will be able to pay 4 in most cases, and an ultimate price on top looks pretty nice here. Clear the board of these one of these elephants. You know, there's going to be another one coming. Yeah, this game's going to come right down to it, right? This is, you might even say it's a memorable moment. Might.
This game has definitely been memorable.
I mean, it's pretty emblematic of sort of how a lot of the decks in League have played out. Just these late game value bombs, card draw removal, swingy cards. Yeah, and for entertainment purposes, we're absolutely here for it because this is one heck of a game.
And I think that shows how, yes, there are a lot of bombs, but there are also a lot of answers. And so games generally don't end just because someone cast one spell. It's, you still have to put together a game plan and kind of like find your way to victory. And we're seeing both Adam and Raph, try to do that and having, real struggle.
Yeah.
They're really
I'd agree with that
going at
mostly,
it.
except for when my opponents cast Elspeth against me. That kind of just wraps it up then and there most of the time. But for the most part, yeah, we see there's answer as the game goes back and forth. But there are a few cards that get around that, but they're fewer.
I would also say that this Teamer Saga is one of the worst designs for limited that I've like ever seen. It's just I even have one in my deck, and it just feels pretty brain dead.
Yeah,
Of
it's like
like
5 mana for 2/10/10s. What are we doing? What are we doing with our life?
5
and
mana, deal 20 damage
and extra
or
damage
more.
too if you have stuff lying around. Yeah, pretty wild. Yeah,
Yeah,
this cycle of sagas are like really inconsistent. Because like a couple of them play out like uncommons, and then you have this, which plays out like a super mythic.
right.
Like the Abzan one is like just very strong, like extremely strong, but not like broken. And then yeah, this one is very silly. All right, so we're just filling the board with creatures again. So we had a Death Begets Life, a huge amount of cards drawn. Adam immediately found some card draw to rebuild the board himself. And now we're just
We're at 10 cards left in Raph's deck. It seems like
oh, okay. We like we
the
like these. That's where you need that shuffle back 4 card, that uncommon that never gets played.
yeah. If he discards the Wayfarer, doesn't want to mill more.
Yeah, no.
Confounding Riddle will mill 4 if you
I think
it's
Confounding
the
Riddle
card
is probably
draw.
off the table here. Okay, he wants to -1 the opponent's creatures. Oh, this is pretty nice. He gets the Molten Exhale also.
Oh, is this lethal?
Um, he decided not to do lethal. I mean, that looked like lethal, right? 4, yeah, and get in with 2. I think he's maybe realizing now. Yeah, which is
Well, you go to
yeah,
1.
yeah. It's like a little surprising just because he's been playing this game like pretty carefully. Like sometimes Raph plays sometimes a little bit fast and loose, like he's joking around, he's talking, but this game he's been playing pretty tight, and then just didn't Just missed the lethal there.
Adam is reading Dreadlit Arm, just double checking that it doesn't give trample. It does not. So
+2/+2 hexproof untap it, or 2 counters hexproof
yeah,
untap it. Yeah, so a little misstep there. Raf's just hoping that there's no way for him to be punished, and looks like there isn't. Yeah, I mean,
looks
going
to me
to
that
one is
between
probably the same as going to two here, as staying at two. So
yeah,
gamer, he says.
looks to me like this was a battle of two enchantments that make a bunch of bodies. The Temur Saga and the Corpses of the Lost, and Corpses of the Lost coming out on top. So,
I mean, maybe I saw
case
Corpses
closed.
go off like this in an LCI game, but most LCI games didn't last long enough for Corpses of the Lost to get cast this many times.
Yeah,
I think that was one of the things with the format, and black was it was a little behind the other colors, probably a little misunderstood in that set. Um, but we're getting to see something like this shine right here. I mean, Adams, I don't know what he's thinking about here. Just
making Raph sweat probably.
yeah. Well, how many bodies can he put into play here? Just two.
I think it's just two. He could,
Yeah,
you know,
he can make two
tap one to
blockers.
put another mammoth, but
Yeah, he can put
yeah,
two
two
blockers,
blockers.
but there's a haste creature and a flyer. So Rafael just says, I think I got this. There's no etherize here, so I think he's good. Yeah. All right. So very very fun, interesting, and drawn out game here, which means we get a game 3. So we'll see which of these 4+ color value decks can make the difference here. This time, Raf is
Yeah,
looking
mostly just
through his
hoping.
deck. Well, this time he spent 10 seconds looking through his deck before clicking done, rather than the 2 seconds from last time. So.
I'll try to see if Adam is going to look through his sideboard.
Are there more
Thinking
aggressive
maybe about the Ice
negotiations?
Ridge Serpent.
Are there more aggressive
Yeah.
negotiations he's not playing? Because I think I'd play 7 of them, right? Maybe.
So there's another Cruel Truths in his sideboard, which, you know, based on the last game, maybe you just want more and more card draw.
Did we catch how many cards Adam had left? Because it couldn't have been that much more than Raf's 10.
I did not see, but
they both
yeah,
absolutely
looking through his deck, I saw most of those cards.
Yeah, so we got what we were hoping for, which was a heavyweight clash between two very experienced and skilled league players here. Right, like you want to see what it takes to win games in week 5? Well, this is it.
Adam added one card going to 61, but I actually really like the card that he added, which is Wild Ride, which is the +3 in haste. And against a deck that can untap and remove a bunch of your big dragons, getting a hit in could really have been the difference.
Okay, that's like a fun of there. That's just like a cheeky little card that will never be played around.
Yes.
Like if you're playing against an aggro deck, you're maybe not specifically playing against Wild Ride, but you're playing against Pump and Haste and all the potential things in an aggro deck could do. But he's never going to be expecting that.
Yeah.
So, I as much as I don't think that card plays into how I like to play, I would like to see it cast here to great effect, just for the memorability factor, perhaps. What's Adam got here this game?
He's only has 2 lands. He'll play a Dragon Sniper this turn, and he's got another one ready to go.
Okay.
Once he starts hitting lands, he's got aggressive negotiations, of course, and then up to some powerful 4 mana stuff in the Moraine River Regent to draw cards, or Freaka Spawn,
Okay.
which in a longer game should be pretty good.
But he is missing the land, you said.
He is missing lands,
Okay.
so
So
often a
yeah.
death sentence, but in this sort of matchup, but
So if he gets his
I have a turn or
untapped
two.
land here, he will get to nab the exact same card that he nabbed last game on turn 3, which was the Fangkeeper's Familiar. That was the card he nabbed with his first aggressive negotiation. And it
And he
looks
did it.
like there he is. So there it goes. And left in hand for Raf is 4 lands and a dead drop. So not looking too hot. He knows. He knows.
And the counter here
Okay.
is
Yeah,
quite nice to.
yeah, he typed in like the chat but didn't send negotiations. Why? He knew it was coming. I mean, I'm sure he knows that Adam has 3 of them. So
I saw him all last game.
yeah, that too. Yeah, so off goes.
Yeah, so I'd say Adam is still going to be desperate for one more land, but obviously knows he has some time.
Why are you maining
Given
all
what
3? Well, because they do work in this set. I mean, sometimes you don't have as much interaction as you'd like, and that's a form of interaction, right? You have to play the cards. That's what sealed is. You got to play the cards you have. If that's a way to attack the
and
opponent, that you have to make use of that. And Raf's just sitting here on lands, all lands in the dead drop, including a land. The unknown card drawn for turn was a land.
Adam would love one of those. He drew an encroaching Dragonstorm. So yeah, one land away from basically unlocking his entire deck. Not there yet.
All right, we got a Sultai Monument, which is another land, but also something to do with those lands. But not exactly the impactful card he was looking for here. 2 cards that trade with the Dragon Snipers.
Yeah, it's a decent answer actually, but
yeah, it's nice.
really,
but, just figuring out which land here.
it's not going to be what you need to answer from Adam's deck.
Yeah, so Adam in the waiting room for a land here to get. All right, there it is.
Yeah.
So assuming he's going to get some blue mana at the very least. Yeah, I was about to say,
I was thinking
I'm
about
surprised he would
attacking
offer
both.
the 1/1
but-
sniper. Doesn't seem
Yeah.
super advantageous there. Okay. So what did we say Adam has to play once he ramps here? Does he have a big dragon?
Yeah, so he's got this Dragonstorm, which he'll play this turn, which will probably get 2 blue. So he has the option of playing the dragon half of Moraine River Regent. Moraine River Regent.
Well, that would be pretty good
then,
if Raf makes 2/2s.
And then there's a Freaka Spawn and the Dread Linorm.
Okay,
as other
so plenty of things to do.
goal.
Okay, here's the Sipsig Appraiser. Looks like he's going to do that rather than make 2/2s. Okay. So less effect on the board, but sees more lands. It's just going to be possibly one of those games here where no matter what you do, your deck was going to give you lands.
He's just getting up to Death Begets Life mana.
Ah,
Good game plan.
yeah, I mean that would be good at some point here. Adam's certainly not running away with the game yet.
And notably, this Moraine River Regent bounce is not fantastic
Okay.
against the board.
I mean, sometimes a 6-mana 6/7 flying is good enough. Looks like Adam has come to the same conclusion. So just let me play a 6/7. That'll do. Rafael's got no answer. Adam knows about the dead drop, so he can play to specifically never just have two creatures in play. Like he can just choose not to trade off when given the opportunity, and just play around
Right.
sacking his 6/7. When you don't know about the dead drop, yeah, you can get got by it. But Rafael will have to combine like a removal with the dead drop in the same turn. So Adam just
So Adam's
deciding.
thinking wants something.
Yeah, in a resource battle, even though it might be okay tempo to bounce your opponent's creatures, the tempo doesn't matter that much. The card advantage matters quite a bit more. So he's not.
He knows he can't really get in an attack, or else he leaves himself open.
All right, we got one of the, if not one of the unsung all stars of the last game here off the top, the Corpses of the Lost, and he's going to get that right back in hand. So he's back at it with this Corpses of the Lost. Yeah, I wonder. Like, I don't know how long he's had it in his pool. Maybe he's had it like since near the beginning, or maybe it's a recent addition. But it's definitely more than pulling its weight, I would say.
Very good draw from Adam, though. Drew a Sage of the Skies, which is a new bomb rare that we haven't seen before. In itself is noteworthy, given the last game.
Yeah, that
should let him.
Yeah, Raf, I mean, he does have two board wipes that he's drawing to, and at any point he'll be ecstatic to see either of them. Though Crux of Fate, not as awesome when Meringue River Region is sitting there. He'd obviously prefer the.
You know how large his graveyard is? He could potentially set up a Crux into the drop, but that would take a lot.
Yeah, he milled two from the Anok. He's got two of the landscape lands, and he put a card in there for Sig Appraiser. So it's starting to get up there. He's just playing a 2/2? Okay.
Oh.
Huh. Is he holding up something here that he didn't want to morph it?
Holding up Dread Linorm.
Me, I'm talking 10 years ago language, morphing it. Okay. Yeah, so he's gonna try and protect his dragon here, since that is doing a lot of the work. While all this is going on, Raf's at 8. And
so the Linorm is lethal.
There goes 2 answers. Yeah, so Adam could go for the Linorm here. I don't think he needs to, though.
He knows Raf's entire hand.
He knows the whole hand. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now that he knows the hand, he's good to go. There's nothing stopping it here. So, yeah, just play a dragon, attack with a dragon. Sounds good to me. Yeah, so this game a little bit more quicker and decisive, but we definitely got our money's worth here with the second game. So that'll go on the list of potential feature matches that we look back on fondly here. So congratulations
for the awards.
Adam getting the win here, getting 19th win, representing the Sultai. So congrats on the win, and we'll see everybody back for our final match of the week in a little bit.